In Islam, understanding Allah is the most important part of our worship and how we live our lives. We believe that Allah is perfect and has qualities that we can't even imagine. These qualities are called the Subuti Sifat, and they make Allah different from everything He created. We are limited and imperfect, but Allah's qualities are absolute, eternal, and perfect. He's not limited by time or place. His existence doesn't depend on anything else. In this video, we will talk about the Subuti Sifat of Allah. There are 8 Subuti Sifat: life, knowledge, hearing, sight, will, power, speech, and creation. By understanding these qualities, we can better understand Allah's greatness and our own creation. To experience the true beauty of faith, we must learn about Allah's qualities and their deep meanings. Let's explore these depths together. The first and most important quality of Allah is that He is eternal and lives forever. Allah is the one who has always existed and will always exist, the living and continuous source of life. He is not bound by the limits of time, birth, or death. He is always alive. The Qur'an reminds us of this. He is Allah. There is no God but Him, the living, the eternal, the self-sustaining. Unlike human life, which is limited and dependent, Allah's life is self-sufficient and never-ending. He never gets tired, sleeps, or forgets, because those are signs of weakness and imperfection. He is the source of all life and sustains it. His existence is beyond our understanding, but knowing that He is eternal and unchanging gives us comfort. The quality of knowledge means that Allah knows everything. Allah has perfect and complete knowledge that includes everything in the past, present, and future. His knowledge is not limited to our world, but includes all of creation, both seen and unseen. The Qur'an beautifully describes this quality. And with Him are the keys of the unseen. None knows them except Him. Human knowledge, on the other hand, is limited and often imperfect. We gain knowledge through observation, experience, and study. Allah's knowledge is not acquired. It is inherent to Him and absolute. He knows our thoughts, our intentions, and even the unspoken desires of our hearts. Reflecting on Allah's limitless knowledge fills us with awe and reminds us of His infinite wisdom. The semi-attribute of Allah means that He hears everything. There are no limits or boundaries to His hearing. Humans can hear sounds within a certain range, but Allah's hearing encompasses everything. His hearing is direct. He doesn't need any tools or organs. And with this attribute, He watches over all beings and knows everything. Allah is the one who hears and knows. Therefore, we should seek refuge in Him and offer our supplications, knowing that He listens and responds. Allah is the all-hearing, the all-knowing, and the all-powerful. The Basar attribute means that the exalted Allah sees everything, observes everything, and nothing is hidden from Him. Nothing escapes His gaze. He knows everything in detail and is always present and watchful everywhere. Indeed, Allah, His angels, and the possessors of knowledge. Qur'an 65:12. With this attribute, Allah possesses a far greater capacity for perception than the limited perception of creatures. His gaze encompasses everything, always, and nothing can limit Him. All beings and events unfold before His eyes, and He knows the true nature of everything most accurately. And He created everything and determined it with precise determination. Qur'an 25:2. Therefore, as humans, we must always be aware that we are under His watch, that nothing is hidden from Him, and we must live our lives with this awareness. Reflecting on these truths regarding Allah's Basar attribute increases our awareness of Him and helps us attain His pleasure. The will of Allah. Allah's will is absolute and independent. Nothing happens outside of His will. He is not influenced by external forces or circumstances. The Qur'an emphasizes this concept. Your Lord creates what He wills and chooses. Not for them is the choice. Qur'an 28:68. Humans have free will, but this will operates within the boundaries that Allah has set. We make choices and decisions, but ultimately, Allah's will prevails. Understanding this concept helps us to accept both the good and the difficult aspects of life, knowing that everything happens according to His divine plan. The unlimited power of Allah, called Qudret, is another important attribute. Allah has the power to do anything He wants. He created the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, and everything in between. The Qur'an says, indeed, His command, when He intends a matter, is only that He says to it, be, and it is. Qur'an 36:82. Human strength is limited and often depends on external factors. We can strive to achieve our goals, but ultimately our success is subject to the will of Allah. Recognizing Allah's unlimited power helps us to trust in Him even when we face difficulties. The Kalam attribute refers to Allah's speech and His ability to speak. Through this attribute, Allah has guided His prophets by conveying His commands to them and showing humanity the way. As stated in the Qur'an, Allah spoke to the prophet Musa, Moses, and gave him His commands. This is an example of how Allah's Kalam attribute is used in divine communication. Allah's speech contains guidance and admonitions to help people attain salvation and find the straight path. The Kalam attribute of Allah forms the basis of divine communication and brings mercy, wisdom, and guidance to humanity. Understanding this attribute strengthens our belief in Allah and helps us find the right path. The Tekvin attribute of Allah represents His ability to create the universe, to create and arrange everything. The Tekvin attribute of Allah is an attribute that exalts Him as the creator of all beings and events in the universe. Stars, galaxies, planets, and the living beings on them, they are all perfect creations of Allah. As stated in the Qur'an, Allah's Tekvin attribute is not limited to creating the universe, but new creation takes place every moment. Nothing can limit Allah's power of creation. Allah's Tekvin attribute also explains the perfect design and order that we observe in nature and in living beings. The creation of every plant, animal, and human being reflects Allah's infinite wisdom and creativity. Allah's Tekvin attribute is an important attribute that exalts Him as the creator of the world of beings and the universe and increases our respect for Him. In this world, where everything and everyone can change, the Subuti Sifat of Allah give us confidence and peace of mind. His promises are true and steadfast. Our belief in Allah's Subuti Sifat gives us stability and strengthens our trust in Him. As we reflect on these attributes, we strengthen our belief in the fulfillment of His promises for the hereafter. We are grateful to our Lord, who always makes us feel His presence everywhere and strengthens our faith. All of His attributes are like a light that guides us out of darkness and into the light. We are grateful to Allah, the Lord of this universe that is filled with His attributes. Our faith in Him and our respect for Him are infinite. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us for more information about our Creator and Islam. We wish you health, peace, and well-being.